All right, everyone. Mike here with you. Watch this video for Friday, March 15th. I'm going to start like I always do, sliding this over. Please pause that if you haven't read it. The short version, we're day traders. We focus on in-play stocks and then place intraday trades. Here's an example from today. My favorite one, Jorge gave the idea BMR over 782, which it hit 782 right there. You see the time 10:09. So 10:09 was probably when it was probably about right here, maybe right here. A good 10, 15 minutes before it actually triggered at the 782 break right there. And look at that immediate pop. Love that. And again, my favorite thing about chat is that you guys post these things before they trigger, right? Well in advance so people have a time to see the setup and decide if they like it. And from 782 pretty quickly to 940, right? Within 10 minutes. That's huge. That's what day trading is all about. And hat tip to you, Jorge. That was a great call. I want to give a hat tip to Kevin P also, because when it got closer, he kind of gave a second heads up, right? When it was about here. I think he said it put in a lower high at 775 or something. So a 3/4 number might have got you in a couple pennies earlier, right? Anyway, love the teamwork. Love those posts. It's what day trading is all about. Let's go into what we're watching for tomorrow. Hoping to catch a trade in. Also, well, let me try to, MINM, that's hard to say. Did kind of break this trend line we were talking about today. I did call this in chat today. Let me go to 5-minute candles. I'll try to scroll over and show you all what it looked like. This is for those that weren't there today. So it broke through 7 here. Thought it was interesting over 7. It broke through 7 and pulled back. I loved the second mouse through 7, right? So then we scroll over. So there's the trigger, and the worst case stop was only, I want to say maybe 25 cents below. And this is another one that went pretty quickly. Right there. There's, let's see, these are 5-minute candles, right? And so I'm trying to do the math. Like 20 minutes, it went to 827 from 7 without really ever looking back. Then it whooshed down. It's a thin stock. But if you get long something at 7 and you get a 20-minute run to 827 and you lose on it, you're trading wrong, right? We're day traders. We rent them. And hat tip to Kevin P again for putting that on my radar and giving me that, kind of the heads up. So that's when I came up with that trade. So anyway, let's go back to the daily because this one is going back on watch, right? You kind of have this trend line break from here to here to here to here, and it's trying to break to the upside. It's a very thin stock, but worth watching again tomorrow. PACK had that inside candle today and then very strong again. It feels extended, but I'm a day trader, so I'm going to watch it. CXAI, you could call this maybe a quiet inside day and then maybe tomorrow it rips. So I still like the chart setup. If AI plays get going, let's keep our eyes on that one. HNRA, I'm pulling that off. I made this list before I had to leave today, which was a half hour before the close, and it looked better. Right now it's too far off recent highs, so I'm going to leave that one off. So let's go FF. Nice pop today. Very strong move. Nice volume. Maybe a follow-through day tomorrow. We'll watch that for a second day play setup. VERI had the pop yesterday and gave most of it back, but then right back up today and even took out yesterday's high briefly. So that one goes on watch. BBW. I've spent some money there with kids and now grandkids. Build-A-Bear. Nice breakout today. It's a thin stock, right? This big volume spike here was still barely 1.5 million. But certainly an interesting looking chart. Maybe a follow through day tomorrow. REAL. Right back on bounce watch. I actually did take a trade in this one today. If you're wondering how I play bounce plays. I got long just as it broke the opening range. I hate to call it an opening range when it broke the early high, right? Over 325. It went to 330. I placed a hard stop and just left it alone. And then later I saw it rolling over and I think I hit out at 322. I took it at 325-ish, so I lost like 4 cents in it, right? I figured if it broke that range and went up, it should have kind of rocked for us, and I gave it some time, but it didn't, so basically a flat trade. Anyway, when I have a bounce watch on watch, and then it gives me another red day, I just put it right back excuse me, on Bounce Watch. MRVL. Let me pause this for a minute. Okay, I paused it to look up. On this chart, I don't have the 200 days, so I had to look at another chart. It's basically around $60. I want to say like 60.04, the 200 days. So, a couple more red days and we'll be there. I'm not suggesting it's going there. I don't know. But certainly oversold here. And it's in the chip sector, so it's a good setup for a snapback bounce. No trades in it today. Goes right back on watch for tomorrow. Dang it. Hang on. I'm going to pause again. All right, so the heck with it. I just switched to my chart that I do have the 200-day on because X is really oversold here. 200 days at 34.89. So another red day or down in that area around the 200-day. It might take a trade in that one tomorrow. And let me go back to Marvell real quick. There you can see the 200-day, right? So again, you got a bounce, nice pivot back here from 63, 70, 60 something. So even if it gets down to this area, super interesting for a snapback bounce. Way oversold in a great space, right? And so then there's X again, also goes on Bounce Watch, and the 200-day may become a factor. MARA or any other Bitcoin play, they're pretty beaten up here. So I'm putting that on oversold Bounce Watch. 4 days ago, this was like $25 and it's down in the 18s. So a possible snapback bounce in that one or any other Bitcoin play. CLDX, huge rip here and just straight down ever since. Again, just looking for a snapback bounce for a day trade. And then lastly, Rumble, which was a really nice 2-day move here and 1 day lower on much lower volume. I'm going to put it on Bounce Watch there. We'll add gappers in the pre-market together as well. That's it for me. I will see you guys in the chat room in the morning. Have a great night.